Something felt wrong before this race even started. Talladega had that strange tension in the air, and by the time it ended, everything had changed. Carson Hocevar just survived one of the wildest, dirtiest, most chaotic Talladega battles in years and turned it into the first Cup Series win of his life. Meanwhile, Bubba Wallace got caught in the one wreck that flipped the entire day upside down. But that still doesn't explain how insane this really became, because this race had everything. Early mind games, a massive big one swallowing the field, a final sprint nobody could predict, a celebration fans won't forget, and then a surprise call from Cleetus McFarland that made the whole moment even bigger. So today, we're breaking down exactly how this spiraled, how Talladega went from calm to complete disaster, how Bubba ended up in the center of the storm, how Hocevar finally changed his career forever, why the internet exploded after the finish, what Cleetus said after the race, and how the garage reacted when the smoke cleared. Let's start before the green flag, because even then, something already felt off. Rain killed qualifying, so Tyler Reddick inherited pole while Kyle Larson lined up beside him. NASCAR had changed the stage lengths too, hoping this would feel more like pure racing and less like another fuel mileage chess match. Fans wanted action. Drivers wanted control. What they got was both and neither. Stage 1 looked patient on the surface, but underneath it, tension was building fast. Teams split strategies. Some stretched fuel, others hit pit road early. Packs kept reshuffling as manufacturers played their own games. Ryan Preece grabbed Stage 1 over Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano, while Reddick still stole points through the confusion. It felt quiet, but only because everyone knew the storm was coming. Then Stage 2 arrived, and this is where everything snapped. Ross Chastain and Bubba Wallace were near the front. The pack was tight. Drivers were getting impatient. Every inch mattered. One wrong move would end somebody's day. Then lap 115 happened. Chastain got to Bubba's rear bumper, entering the backstretch. The contact turned Wallace sideways, and suddenly the field disappeared into smoke, spinning metal, and nowhere to go. This is where fans started arguing instantly. Some blamed Bubba because his car triggered the chain reaction. Others pointed to the shove from Chastain that started it all. And that debate is still going. But here's what mattered most. Bubba could have exploded afterward. He didn't. Instead, he calmly said his team needed to learn how to receive pushes better. That tells you everything. While chaos erupted around him, he stayed composed. But the damage was brutal. Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, Ty Gibbs, William Byron, Cole Custer. Multiple contenders wiped out or crippled in seconds. That's Talladega. 1 second you're alive, the next second your day is over. And after that wreck, the race changed completely. It stopped being about speed. It became survival. But that wasn't even the craziest part. Chastain still won Stage 2. Ty Gibbs later hit the wall with tire damage. And the final stage became a miserable 2-lane gridlock where almost nobody behind the front row could make anything happen. Drivers were furious. Ryan Blaney summed it up perfectly, saying they're either fuel-saving or wrecking each other. That one line said everything. Then the finish started closing in. Tyler Reddick scraped the wall and brought out another caution. The field reset one more time. And now every driver knew this would be decided in a handful of laps. Carson Hocevar and Chris Buescher found themselves up front. Then another twist. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got into Hocevar, sending him down toward Eric Jones and forcing yet another yellow. That set up the final 3-lap dash. And suddenly, it was Hocevar's chance. On the restart, he got exactly what he needed. Control of the lead, help from behind, clean air in front. He stayed calm while everyone else scrambled. Then the white flag flew, and Hocevar had the one thing every Talladega driver dreams about: clean track ahead with the field trapped behind him. When the last lap crash froze the order, it was over. Carson Hocevar had done it. First Cup win. Career changed forever. Buescher second, Alex Bowman third, Chase Elliott fourth, Zane Smith fifth, and Hocevar jumped to 8th in points. But this felt bigger than a normal superspeedway upset. This wasn't weather luck. This wasn't fuel mileage nonsense. This was a young driver who had taken heat, made mistakes, lost chances, and finally delivered when the pressure was highest. You could hear it in his voice after the race. This one meant everything. But then came the moment that made it unforgettable. Because Hocevar didn't just win, he made sure nobody would forget it. He climbed halfway out of the car, rode the door down the front stretch, tagged the wall, then lit up a burnout built for social media. It looked like a movie scene. Fans loved it instantly, and afterward, he explained why. He said he'd imagined that moment for years. He wanted to feel every second of it, hear the crowd, see the fans, make sure they saw him too. That's why it hit so hard. It didn't feel fake. It felt like a kid living the exact dream he used to picture in his head. Then things got even better, because while Hocevar was still doing interviews, Cleetus McFarland called him, and fans absolutely ate this up. Just days earlier, Hocevar had supported Cleetus after his near-ARCA win. Now Cleetus returned the love after Carson's biggest moment. NASCAR mic'd the call as Cleetus told him, "I knew it was coming." Hocevar fired back, telling him he'd win one soon too. Short exchange, real emotion, huge reaction online, and it showed something bigger happening in NASCAR right now. Hocevar is raw, emotional, flawed, fast, impossible to ignore. Cleetus is a giant internet personality, now earning real respect in racing circles. When those worlds collide naturally, fans notice. The garage noticed too. Alex Bowman said Hocevar deserved it. Chase Elliott admitted the final run gave him almost no options. That means Hocevar did exactly what he needed to do, control the lane and trap everyone behind him. But many drivers left frustrated with the racing itself. Joey Logano criticized the package. Blaney was irritated. Elliott said late moves felt impossible. So while Hocevar earned every bit of this win, Talladega still left people divided. Then there's the team story, and nobody is talking enough about this. Spire Motorsports has been building quietly for a while. This felt like proof they're not just hoping for plate race luck anymore. Co-owner Jeff Dickerson made it clear this was different from their rain-shortened Daytona win. He said this one was won on the racetrack. Then he added something bigger. "We're not done. That's not a team acting shocked. That's a team sending a warning." Hocevar sounded the same way. He said they believed this was coming. They expected it eventually. That confidence matters, especially for a young driver learning in public. So what's the real takeaway here? For Bubba Wallace, it's another brutal Talladega what-if. For the field, it's another reminder that chaos can erase everything instantly. But for Carson Hocevar, this was the day his story changed forever. He's not the guy who almost wins anymore. He's not just the loud young talent anymore. He's a Cup Series winner now, and he did it at one of the hardest, wildest tracks in the sport. So tell me this, was this the moment Carson Hocevar truly arrived?